There are so many reasons to check out nordvpn.com/Fightful. Let's go through a ton of them. Works on all operating systems and devices, even your router. Protect yourself on public Wi-Fi. Shield your data from snoops and criminals. Add extra layers of digital security to your life with the password manager, the file encryption tool, the Threat Protection Pro. It's the fastest VPN in the world. They've got a global server network, 24/7 tech support. And if you're a wrestling fan, oh man, are you in for it? All of the programs that WWE runs, you can watch with one Netflix account with nordvpn.com/Fightful. You can get pay-per-views at a much more affordable price. This service pays for itself in the money that you are going to save. nordvpn.com/Fightful. Good afternoon. Man, it is fun to say that after WWE Raw. I wonder how many of you will actually be here, but welcome to Fightful. Sean, Ross, Sapp, what's up, you guys? WWE Raw is live overseas for the next 3 weeks, and on Mondays, I will be doing this post-show right afterwards. So today, just before 5:30, next week before 6:30, and the week after that, 5:30, again, Eastern time. Doesn't appear that my friends on Fridays will be doing the same because of it airing at 8 p.m. on USA. But by God, we're here. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, get your super chats and humper chats in. I want to know what you guys want to talk about because this John Cena promo was wild. It was incredible. I don't know if we should talk about that first or wait until we get some more people on board, but definitely wanted to do this show live with you guys because listen, there's a whole bunch of people in the UK and Europe that watch our shows and they wait till the next morning to watch it. And I want to give you guys the same opportunities that a lot of our other audiences get. And I love that, man. We've got a very nice viewership in Europe, and it's cool to see an awful lot of people in this chat right now that wouldn't normally be in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and get some of the plugs out of the way. FightfulSelect.com. We have news on a talent that's been working as a babyface overseas instead of a heel. We've got some details on Raw that you guys might not have known about. We had details. We had select answers every single day. Got my Q&A show up today as well. We've got a Discord that you have access to. You can ask me questions all the time. We had the latest on Hikuleo. We had the Survivor Series location revealed. We had details on a TNA wrestler who dislocated his jaw, finished the match. Have a whole bunch of stuff over at FightfulSelect.com. Best $6 a month in the business, or $64 a year. I know some of you say, why would I ever pay for wrestling news? It is a lot more than that. Give us one shot. I promise you will like it. And if you don't, just cancel that son of a buck and move on. But you get access to Discord. You get a bunch of pay-per-view scoops. Whole lot of cool stuff there. Our YouTube channel, we have really stepped up our content of late. It's not just the post shows that we do every night. It's not just the news shows, the breaking news shows, all the interviews, which there are plenty of, by the way. Mark Briscoe, Robert Stone, Natalia, Scott D'Amore, Francesca Eastwood, all that stuff just in the past couple weeks. I've been dropping a lot of new videos. We've got some info docs called Fightful Presents. We had one on the history of tribute to the troops, the defection of a lot of New Japan talent to WWE in 2016. We had TNA's attempt to challenge WWE in the Monday Night War. And today we dropped one on what is considered the most embarrassing event in wrestling history, Heroes of Wrestling. If you have never heard of this show, you really want to check out this info doc that we have here on YouTube. Yokozuna, Too Cold Scorpio, Jimmy Snuka, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, King Kong Bundy, Jake the Snake, the Bushwhackers, Iron Sheik, Greg the Hammer Valentine, George the Animal Steel, Marty Jannetty, the Samoan SWAT team. They were all on this show. And this weekend, I did a review video of player ratings for WWE 2K25. It's about an hour-long video. I go through each one of those and tell you what I think. I used to do a lot of modding back in the day for EWR, and and WMMA 3, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was 3. Grey Dog software stuff. And I would release these mods and help edit mods for people. And I specialized in refining some of the ratings, and very, very confident in my ability to do that. But check that out. All kinds of great videos, and dropping on Tuesday. Somebody says SRS is a big fan of Akum's rating. Boy, it aged very badly as things went on. And Logan Paul's was one that really was like, huh? Stephanie's was insane. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. See my reactions over there. But on Tuesday, we are dropping the first in a 7-part series of us going through Jimmy Van's figure collection, including some very rare prototypes that he spent an insane amount of money on. Now, listen, Jimmy became very independently successful outside of wrestling and made quite a purchase from Matt Cardona a few years ago, and it includes a naked Miss Elizabeth. A naked Miss Elizabeth LJN. Is Jimmy Van a pervert? Find out here on Fightful tomorrow. Okay, let's get into this show. What do y'all want to know? Do y'all want to talk about Cena right off the bat? You want to save it till a little bit later when everybody else shows up? I want to let our audience know as they send some fruit emojis and just let me know. I'm here for you guys. People want Cena now. Am I going to do the superstar ratings reviews for the DLC? Probably. We got one that says save it. What else is there to talk about? Well, I'll tell you what else there is to talk about. Have you guys ever seen Dakota Kai versus Io Sky before? Oh, you have. Oh, you have. Have you ever seen the LWO versus the Creed brothers? Oh, you have. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Have you ever seen Penta versus Kaiser? Oh, okay. Well.
Do something else! Do something else! That's it! That's all we want! Do something else! Holy shit!
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Shout out to Luis for helping us out. Now, I'm going to say this. The Penta Ludwig Kaiser match was very good. Very good. And we had just wrote on FightfulSelect.com that Ludwig Kaiser has been working as a babyface overseas, but not today. But this match was outstanding. It's fantastic. But there was something in there, like when Ludwig Kaiser says, okay, you win. To me, that's a verbal submission. That's as good as a tap out, right? Like, why are we pretending like that wasn't a tap out? I just want to say Penta hitting the Mexican Destroyer on the chair was great. The Penta driver onto the chair, I just hoped that Ludwig Kaiser's head didn't crack the back of that. And I was like, okay, that's the finish. That's good. I really appreciate when Penta does the Destroyer because, oh my God, it's become such a bastardized move in a lot of wrestling. And I'm not talking about like in AEW where people kick out of it or it's not the finish. I don't mind about that. But now I see every indie talent. And if you think I'm singling you out, I'm not singling you out. I see it everywhere. And now you guys will not be able to unsee it. It is largely the person taking the move, doing the move. And what you'll see is a lot of wrestlers that cannot or do not have the athleticism to help out the person taking the move, and they'll land flat on their back. And instead of a Canadian Mexican Destroyer, it looks like the old water wheel drop that you would see in Japan a lot. And like, what's the point of doing the move? What's the point of doing the move if you can't do it at all, much less correctly? It drives me nuts. So that's why when I see Penta doing it, I'm like, thank God. Thank God, at least the guy that's doing it on WWE TV does it really, really well. And it takes care of people as well. But like, gosh, I've seen so many people And I'm like, did you all not watch when Shawn Michaels like crushed his vertebrae on that casket? Like, you're going to have that. It's just going to be, there's going to be, a 150 to 170 pound woman or a 230 pound man that has it happen to you. I don't get it. Stop doing that move if you can't do it. Fortunately, Penta does it really well. Outstanding match. Again, Kaiser needs his own distinct theme song at this point. I need that. That is important. Penta going after the IC title. But that wasn't all. Wasn't it? Backstage, you got Karrion Kross seen speaking with Dominic. Sorry. Karrion speaking with Dominic. And then Dominic approaches Finn and is like, hey, so about that new member, maybe it should be Penta. And Finn Balor is like, bro, he's going after the IC title. You're a snake. So you see Karrion Kross's like influence still shown. Like, you're starting to see some things swirling. And immediately when I saw them talking, I was like, man, Kross would be kind of a good fit for Judgment Day. And we've got Carlito saying to Dom, like, don't you watch the show? Liv Morgan was also really good here. Her facial expressions took this a long way. Maddie Mania says, what's going on with the tag team titles? The women's tag titles can't possibly leave Liv off the card after the year she's had. I would be shocked if Liv was left off the show. If they leave Liv Morgan off of WrestleMania, that would, honestly, I would consider that a big slap in the face after the way that she helped carry a lot of the division. I would not leave her off that show, but I think they're setting some stuff up. They had some tag team plans. Liv is going to face Jade, by the way. And they even mentioned like Liv's road to WrestleMania. So get those super chats and humper chats in. I see a bunch of you sending them in for John Cena. We are going to talk about that. Sorry. I said Dakota and EO Sky. It's Ivy Nile. Well, we've seen Dakota and EO, I believe, as well. But KE775 says, why did WWE bring Bayley to Raw? So there's going to be a lot of people that are over there on that tour that maybe aren't used on certain shows, but then they're going to be used on the upcoming live events. Like, they decided to bring over Punk, I believe, to do Friday, then the weekend live events, then I believe Monday's Raw. I believe that's the way that it is. But Dakota defeated Ivy Nile again. What am I supposed to say to this? Obviously, Dakota's tag team partner is factored into the title picture. That's fine. Dakota Kai lost in the main event of the finals of the tournament and then lost a rematch. So I don't mind the fact that they're giving her an undercard win. That's good. They should. It's just they ran this one back. Okay. That was fine. That was okay, I guess. Not a lot to talk about in the Jey Uso Austin Theory thing either, outside of holy crap, that audience for Jey Uso and the whole show, which we're going to be talking about. Just an insane reaction for Jey Uso. I liked the argument before, and then he goes in and squashes Austin Theory. Sucks for Austin Theory, but you need stuff like this for guys like Jey Uso. Sometimes you see people come in, you win you win something, and you get the hell out of there. You do your cool stuff and you leave. And I am completely cool with that. I think that you need to have that. Gunther should have some more of those instead of him struggling to beat everybody. He needs to go in and powerbomb somebody and choke him out. For sure. For sure. Waller tries to get involved. He gets his ass whipped, and then Gunther shows up. But Jey Uso handled his business against Gunther. It's just these are getting very redundant, right? Like these are happening a lot. These feel like they're going on nonstop. Like it's just the attack after attack after attack after. At least this time, Jey was wiser about it. And you first off, you needed to, because he can't get beat down every single week. And we're still a month out from this show. Still a month out from this show. Which, by the way, if you are heading to WrestleMania, check out our friends at Circa Las Vegas. I've posted about this a couple times, but I had the opportunity to check out Circa Las Vegas in January, and I got to see some of the plans that they had for WrestleMania week, which includes Busted Open. It includes the Chris Van Vliet show that they're doing there, and a lot of the viewing parties. Like if you're not going to WrestleMania and you want to enjoy all the other stuff, they've got a lot of cool viewing stuff there. You can meet plenty of stars. They're like WWE wrestlers who just kind of hang out there as well. But check it out, Circa Mania. I know Joel Pearl, that is his resort of choice for this year's WrestleMania. I will be covering from home, but that's where I was headed. And that's where I will be staying moving forward in Las Vegas, our good friends over at Circa. Oh, man. AJ confronted by Karrion Kross. This has got to result in a match, right? This has got to lead to a match between these two. Gotta. But I do like that, like, Kross hasn't really done anything to AJ yet. He's just kind of pushing him in that direction. Just kind of nudging him in that direction. Okay. Terry Allen Jr. says, distraction tactic, idea, slide items occasionally. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like slide items into the ring instead of just waving them around, for sure. We had a Seth Rollins promo. We are breezing through this Raw, but let's be real. We're here to talk about the John Cena thing. And it's going to get a lot of time. A lot of time, my friends. Seth Rollins promo, which was basically to say, I'm here, Roman Reigns and CM Punk aren't. And I really liked his approach when the crowd booed that. He said, yeah, I wish they were here too, but they're both going to be under the same roof on Friday at SmackDown. So I'm going to handle that. Now, it definitely seemed like he was more concerned about Punk than Roman Reigns, but it's like he beat Punk. He won the match. And that's probably the way I expect to see Punk kind of losing this year. I don't see him taking a lot of clean L's. I'm fully of the belief Seth Rollins takes the pin at WrestleMania, because I think they'll do the thing between Io, Bianca, and Rhea where Io sneaks in and gets the win because those two are too worried about each other. KE775 says, what do you think the non-title matches will be on Mania outside of Punk, Rollins, Reigns? I would love if they don't do a tag team title match. I would like to do Wyatt 6 versus Judgment Day. I would like Bayley versus Roxanne. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Those are a few of them. They got so many damn titles now, though. They got a ton of them. Ton of them. So Seth's promo was good. They sang. They brought him in. It's very cool. He has them sing him out. And you can tell he loves it. He adores it. But The Line Drive says, curious when Kross will get elevated up the card, but this whole I see the real you gimmick feels untapped so far. The Line Drive, it's one of those very interesting things where he is getting over more for his outside the ring stuff than he was in the ring. And it's okay to admit that he is a more interesting character outside the ring than inside the ring. When you had Sean O'Haire doing this, we knew he was capable of very athletic things. There are a lot of people that just don't know what Karrion Kross is physically capable of. Like, did you know that Karrion Kross has not wrestled a match this year? At all. At all. Did you know that Karrion Kross has had one match on Raw or SmackDown or anything else like that since August 27th? One TV match in 7 months. And he has never been more over in WWE. He's more over now than when he was in NXT and he was the champ there. It's worked out very well. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you know, if you really are an entertainment program, you're going to have these supporting characters. And what we have seen more out of Karrion Kross is that he's a very charming guy. And a lot of people have said, you know what, we should make that his TV character as well. He's charming. Even though he's getting these people to do these things, like they're very charmed by him because that's how charming people work in that sense. Man. Ben says, still am there. Great time, absolute blast, but a little heartbroken they advertised Punk only to remove him at last minute. Bummer. Ben, had they always promoted John Cena? Because I feel like what they did was they slid John Cena in there and they said, okay, there's no Punk, but you do have John Cena. Now, I know that for some people, that's not an appropriate consolation, and I completely understand that. You want to see who you want to see. But yeah, I feel like that's probably what they did. And they're like, okay, title match. Here's Cody Rhodes. Ben, you don't have to super chat this. What did they film before or after Raw? Like, did they do any dark matches or anything like that? If anybody in the chat can let me or Luis know, I would love those details to see what they filmed before or after. What do you think the plan is for the men's US and IC titles? I think that Braun Breaker versus Penta is a good WrestleMania match. For the men's US title, I think a ladder match is appropriate. That's what I think they should do. I got no interest in that US title. They have booked that horribly. Horribly. But I think that Penta and Braun Breaker could be a great Mania match. I'm just saying, if Braun Breaker loses at Mania, he needs to start ascending and going for the world title. Give me Braun Breaker and Gunther or Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker has history with Jey Uso. I don't know if I want to see them run that back, but I would like to see that. Would like to see that. Cody versus Dom was the dark match after the show. Okay, that's fun. That is a common sense booking right there. That one makes an awful lot of sense. Does anybody know what? That's interesting. Am the real me says, is Patreon Fightful Select only supposed to be $5? That's all I was charged. Listen, we've had so many issues with Patreon lately. This is unsurprising. Like I don't know if you guys saw that post that I had made on Friday, but it had like a bunch of producers and stuff. Then the post updated without a title or anything. We're working on it. I'll pass this along. Am, thank you. It's very honest of you. Listen, it should be $6. Should be $6 a month. So I don't know. Patreon stays messing with my money, but yeah. And so somebody says Patreon charged me the wrong date. Man, I'm sorry, guys. We'll continue to work on that. And fortunately, our pull with Patreon seems to go pretty well, and they listen to us an awful lot. But I'll tell you who else you guys should listen to. Our friends at BetOnline. For years, you've seen BetOnline AG's odds on Fightful, whether it be wrestling, MMA, or boxing. That's who we trust. 25 plus years, they've been trusted online by millions. They've got a safe and secure environment. They've got payouts in minutes, high credit card acceptance, the earliest lines, the fastest payouts, and the industry's best bonuses. Whether you want to play games, whether you want to bet on basketball, MMA, boxing, wrestling, baseball, hockey, anything, check them out. You may say, wait, you can bet on wrestling? Yes, you can bet on wrestling. We've been giving you betting odds on wrestling for so long and giving you some good underdog picks as well. I think we hit a 9 in our first few months just working with BetOnline AG. So check it out for yourself. Of course, we want you to only bet what you can, and please bet responsibly. Check out our friends over at BetOnline AG. We started working with BetOnline in December 2023. We have given you guys 20 lock picks over on FightfulSelect.com, and all 20 of them have hit. That makes me so happy. I know that wrestling odds can be pretty crazy, but like we've given you all a ton of underdog odds too. Like we had Moxley as a lock, and I think that was one of the closest odds on that show on AEW Revolution. So, man, I love it. I really, really love it. It makes me happy when like the Samoa Joe World's End show, when he won the title, people were like, man, you paid for my New Year's drinks with that betting tip. And BetOnline's cool with it. They're all right with it, which makes me very, very happy. Get in those super chats. Get in those humper chats about the Cena stuff. We're saving that for the end. Demon Diva says Patreon sold its soul. I hear from her more in the comments of my own shows than anywhere else. SMH. LWO defeated American Made. This is a match that you saw in September and October, and here we are again. Sure. But how have Ivy Nile and American Made benefited from joining Chad Gable besides having beautiful new patriotic gear? They really haven't. Ivy Nile loses all the time. Ivy Nile is on TV only to lose. Let's look back. Ivy Nile lost to Dakota Kai tonight in under 3 minutes. Lost to Lyra Valkyria 2 weeks ago. Lost to Dakota Kai in the top contender match. She didn't win the Rumble, obviously. No big deal there. Lost the first round of the tournament. Lost on speed in that tournament, too, if I remember right. Lost to LWO back in November. She was in the Battle Royal. Didn't win that. She beat Zelina Vega, which, funny enough, Zelina Vega is now in contention for the U.S. title. They lost to the Wyatts. Okay. How am I supposed to be looking at this group as if they did something special since they've got together? Creed's lost to the War Raiders twice. Lost to the LWO. Now, they did beat Dragon Lee and Ray, like I would say 4 months ago, but they also lost like the week before that too. And Chad Gable's had to go find a mask, which I'm interested in that story. I think he's doing really, really great there. But damn, man, American Made. They're a group of putties. They're running around for their Rita Repulsa. That's it. Man. Contract signing, Io and Bianca. But Rhea shows up. I love this segment. Now, plenty of it doesn't make sense, and I'm glad they're not insulting our intelligence by pretending that it does. Rhea comes out, and she's like, well, I'm here to just watch just like you were during my match. And she stuck your nose in my business, Bianca. And Bianca was so funny. She goes, oh, you're here to watch? Well, guess what? You can just watch at WrestleMania. This is good stuff. And Rhea and Bianca get into it. Rhea ends up powerbombing them through or onto a table and signing her name on the contract. And Adam Pearce and commentary are all like, this doesn't work. Now, Jay Stone says, how is Rhea not the heel in this situation? She lost against Io because she was lacking. Now she's acting like a Karen, a weird path to the triple threat. That's how I feel. I think she's one of your most over baby faces. Io Sky is not going to be the heel in this situation because they are intentionally treating her like a third wheel. In reality, Bianca probably should have been the heel in whatever match that they have, but instead they're kind of like pseudo healing Rhea and Bianca by having them forget about Io. And Io, listen, backstage in that brawl, very much making it a thing where she's like, y'all ain't going to forget about me. And I'm glad they're doing that. But I mean, I think this ultimately ends in Io beating Bianca and Rhea. And then Bianca and Rhea can continue without themselves. But listen, I always thought that Rhea and Bianca was a WrestleMania main event level match. Line Drive says, women's world title feud. Everyone is in a petty mood. I mean, Bianca and Rhea are. I mean, Bianca didn't do anything wrong. Bianca was just clapping at ringside. She earned her way into the match. And now this Australian Karen is stepping in. Now, if you're Rhea Ripley, her character is perpetually smart. Like, she knows what she's doing here. She knows that she's trying to Karen her way into it. She's very aware of that. But she's got to find her angle in somehow. So that's what I believe about that character. Is that she witnesses it happening up and down the card. So why wouldn't she do it as well, you know? The brawl backstage was good. I do think the WWE went from not doing brawls enough to absolutely relying on it. I do see people saying Rhea didn't do anything to earn this. I mean, here's the way that it could be explained. Rhea got involved in the Io match, and yes, that cost Io her shot at the chamber. But out of the goodness of her heart, she gave Io a title match. I think that her character might want Io to return the favor. You know what I mean? But I mean, also, I don't think you needed to make Rhea look like a Karen in order to do that. You could have just baby-faced Io a little bit more and said, well, I do want to give her the same respect. And also, like, nobody made Rhea go pay attention to Bianca. As much as I said that her character seems like a smart one, that wasn't a smart thing for her character to do. Liv didn't get a rematch. You didn't see her begging and inserting herself. That's also true. That's also very true. And she is the type of character that would beg and insert herself. Yeah, I don't think that the character development with that one has made a lot of sense. And, you know, I guess we'll kind of see. I guess we'll see how that one goes. Get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. Please leave a thumbs up on this video. If you're new to our channel, slap that subscribe. I'm going to do some 2K25 streaming and all that stuff as well soon. N. Simmons says, double-edged sword for me with Bianca. Io should win at Mania, but also Bianca has become Mrs. WrestleMania, and her streak shouldn't end like this. Rhea's character is funny. Hope it doesn't backfire. I think it is gonna backfire, but I also don't disagree with you about the Bianca and WrestleMania streak. And I do think that she is Mrs. WrestleMania. I mean, Bianca Belair is one of the most incredible WrestleMania performers in the history of the event. Like, I mean, she had, and she's still got plenty that are on the docket or possible or whatever that might be. But my God, that Sasha Banks match, that main evented, it was unbelievable. It was one of the best matches I've ever seen. Hurrican's Becky was fantastic. Man, isn't it wild to think she's only done 4 WrestleManias at this stage? It feels like it's been a lot more. But she's 4-0. She was on the Mania Battle Royal, though, yeah. She did that one as well. But the Bayley match is pretty good. It wasn't nearly as good as the Becky match or the Sasha match, but she's also got to complete the set. She's got to face Charlotte at Mania at some point and beat all the horsewomen and kind of take that from them. Oh, man. Is it a good idea to have CM Punk attend the Raw in Glasgow after screwing Drew out of the title the last time he was there at Clash at the Castle? I think they're counting on some of those reactions. And Drew should be there. Drew's going to be a massive babyface there. I'm very interested in that with the Damian Priest element of things. Wow, I just saw that Lash LaRue ran into Elix Skipper, who I have not seen in, gosh, ages. I've been trying to lock down an interview with him, tried to get an interview with Seahawk. Man. But damn, man. Yeah, I'm sitting here pondering on this CM Punk reaction that he's going to get. But you got to have Drew there as well, right? Like, Drew's got to be on Raw in Glasgow. Absolutely got to be. You can't pass up that. Can't pass it up. Oh, man. Braun Breaker defeated Finn Balor. IC title match. Judgment Day gets involved. Penta shows up towards the end of this. This is good. This is good. I like them building up title matches like this for episodes of Raw and then having like the tag titles or the IC title or something like that main event the show. It adds an awful lot to the show that you would not have had otherwise. Because, I mean, for a while, it seemed like they would just save all these for pay-per-views. And that is one of the benefits of the smaller pay-per-view cards. But, man, I have been all about the way that they have done these of late. And Braun Breaker it's honestly become a bit of his specialty with him. Like, he has become a guy that is just out there having good title matches on Raw. He's going to be an incredible main eventer one day. And you got to make him unstoppable. You got to make him unstoppable. I'm interested in what you guys thought of this match because you knew that Penta was going to get involved towards the end. You knew Judgment Day was going to get involved as well. Will Chisholm says Happy Penta is crazy over the next IC champ. It was a natural build from one to the next. You got the next loaded up, and I think that's the smart thing to do. Have a contender ready. That's something I think every wrestling company should do. Once one program is done, you go, okay, who's next? This person's been getting a push. And, I criticize an awful lot about this person doesn't, and when I say this person doesn't deserve a title shot, I don't mean the human being. I mean the performer on TV. Well, guess what? Penta beat Ludwig Kaiser. He beat Joaquin Wilde on main event. He didn't take the pin in the triple threat, but he beat Dunn. He's beat Waller. He's beat Kaiser before that. He's beaten Gable before that. Like, he has earned an IC title match. They could give him one tomorrow, and it would make an awful lot of sense because this man has won like 6 or 7 matches. Or I think it's like 7 or 8 matches in the 2 months that he's been there. And to me, that's what you should be doing. It should at least give me a couple. At least give me a couple wins. They gave Penta a whole bunch of them. And that's what I want. I want to see winners face winners and then them to clash and you to go, well, one of these guys can't afford to lose this match. Yeah, that's how this is supposed to be. In fighting, in boxing, in MMA, in wrestling, it's supposed to be like that. You're supposed to have guy that wins a lot against guy that wins a lot, and then one of them wins more. That's how it should be. And yeah, Stephen Bradley mentions longest time in the Rumble too. That's a W. You count that as a W being the Iron Man there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ah, man. I'll tell you guys what has me feeling like an Iron Man. This ketone IQ. Got a few of them right here. Good to go. Take it before a podcast, before a workout. It really gets me dialed in. It's been engineered, or it's been founded rather by ex-Stanford engineers. They got a Department of Defense contract, these fellas. But Ketone IQ is high performance energy, a clean shot of energy with no sugar or caffeine. But they did recently launch Ketone IQ Plus Caffeine, which is 5 grams of ketones and 100 milligrams of caffeine from green tea. And it tastes great. Like I said, before a long shift of writing or scoop hunting, podcasting, workouts, it really helps me get dialed in, really helps me focus. I have spoken openly about my struggles focusing, and this really does dial me in. I mean, my gosh, they've got these wonderful supplement and research partnerships. They've teamed with like so many professional and Olympic athletes like Day Linden, Michael Andrews, Sam Laidlow, who's an Ironman world champion. And right now you can save 30% off your first subscription order and receive a free 6-pack of Ketone IQ with ketone.com/Fightful. You absolutely want to check this stuff out. A lot of the top MMA fighters in the world have also jumped on board with ketone.com/Fightful. Fantastic product. And I mean, my gosh, man, they've got, you can get free gifts. I think they've got like free 6-packs, Ketone IQ merch, all kinds of stuff over there with ketone.com/Fightful. Make sure you check this stuff out. I like the peach flavor. That's what I loaded up on and hit them up. And I said, I would like to do business with you, good sirs. And they said, heck yeah, let's do it. Ketone.com/Fightful. I'll tell you who was dialed in. John Cena. Whew, boy, this promo. Where do I begin? John Cena's music hits. And it is my time is now. And he comes out in his same clothes. And the audience is there for the ride. They love it. They've been ready to boo him. And this is what I thought would happen. There were some people that thought, oh man, they're going to cheer John Cena now that he's heel. And I disagreed. Especially this era of WWE fan. Like, they're just over the moon that this show doesn't suck anymore. Even on a show like today, where it was largely a one-segment show, it's way better. It's at least not terrible. And you got John Cena coming out here after an all-timer moment. Whew. And what doesn't this guy say? He said that he has been the victim of an abusive relationship for 25 years because of how terrible people are to him. Listen, John Cena, buddy, I agree with you. Now, I want to go after the one thing I don't like in the promo. He says, I'm not a babyface. I'm not a heel. I'm a human being, and all of you are awful to me. I hate using the term babyface and heel on a show. I don't think they in the world of WWE, the phrases shouldn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, just don't. The only other time I've heard somebody say you're a heel is on, like, I think Home Alone and The Grinch. Otherwise, it's largely a pro wrestling related term. But I don't like that. I don't like commercials for WWE Raw saying, I don't know what he's going to do as a heel. Don't like that either. Everything else about this I loved. And if you guys have watched my show for any amount of time, you'll know that I hate you people promos. But he's the guy that can cut a you people promo, because you people, and I say that pointing directly at myself on a screen, have said that he sucked for a bunch of years. When he's very nice to people and he just tries to entertain you. And even though he's older, he comes back and he tries to make it work. We're all mean to him. He says, you're making this so easy. For 25 years, I've been a part of an abusive relationship. All you do is be hurtful. All you are is abusive. And all you do is bully me into being your puppet and expect me to do it with a smile on my face. No more. Whew. Felt like he had been holding that one in for quite a while. And then he addresses it. He comes out, he's dressed the same. And he's like, it's always about what you want. Even when I did this, it's about what you got. And he said, you want me to dress different? I see that all the time. No. He's like, you dress like me. I don't dress like you idiots. New music. You don't get new music. It's my voice. It's my song. I made it. My album went platinum. Your time is up. My time is now. He said, the only thing you get is a long look in the mirror to see how awful you've been to me. Whew. Incredible. There's a kid in the crowd as well. As I'm going to ask Luis to sort of organize our John Cena Humper chats by, stuff with The Rock or visual changes or just responses to whatever. The line drive says 20 years of being a hero just for a lame you people promo. Evil Cap and Superman work because they're doing right even if misguided. Just ignores the deep character history for a cliche. I hated it. The line drive, I would normally agree with you, but if there is one person that the cliche fits with, it is John Cena. He's been the good guy doing the right thing for 21 years. 2 decades. Literally the duration of LeBron James's career. John Cena's been the good guy, the nice guy. So if there's one person that can do this and get away with it, it is John Cena. And eventually he is going to be a babyface again. And it's a very easy switch. It is, I was having trouble coming to terms with the fact that I will not get you guys anymore. I will not get to see you guys anymore. Whether you love me, whether you hate me, whether you said that I sucked, I loved it, embraced it, because look what I was able to do. Look at the kids I was able to help. Look at the inspiration I was able to provide. And he won't get that anymore. And it was a struggle to come to terms with it. So he was blaming everybody else for a decision that he made. Admitting that is baby facing yourself. Kim Gray says, I'm too emotionally attached. Seal turn makes me sad. I love Cena and Cody. The day Cena turned, my mother-in-law died and I was already emotional. Kim, I am so sorry about your loss. I really am. It was an incredible moment. And an incredible promo. And John Cena even addressed the meme. That was the thing that got the most attention out of anything that I tweeted. He said, you made me the butt of a stupid invisible joke for 15 years. You think it's funny. It's not funny. Talked about, and these are the people that supported him. He's like, what'd you do for me? Now that one, I don't know. I don't know if I would have went that direction. You could have just ignored it. He could have even said, I have some people that I really admire that care about me. But he also could have said, I even get you to dress up like idiots. I would not have done that. Yeah, Michael Cole was lit on commentary for that. Rafael Garcia says, I've seen many things at 26. Never seen a Shibata McGinnis and John Cena cut a You People promo. If anybody deserved one, it's him. But wow. I never thought we'd get one. Never thought we'd get one. Just Mask on Hump says, I like that we're continuing the trend of heels seeking rational and Cody seeking like a narrow-minded jackass. Says, John, you've never cared or respected for me, so I don't need you. And then Cody says, you have feelings? What a whiny ass. So I do think that John Cena's line towards his supporters did lend to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is like, you know what? I thought I would hear you out, but if that's all you got, you're going to have to do better, because if this John Cena shows up, I'll put him in a retirement home early because I want John Cena, not the guy out here bitching. And Cody is so over. This is the same guy that was getting booed in AEW like 38 months ago. He knows what it's like. Hope he says that too. I hope he brings that up. I hope he goes out there and he says, I literally changed the wrestling world and people booed me for it. Can't tell me I don't know what it's like. Can't tell me that I would have sold my soul because I had that opportunity and I walked away. And then he went back. He was so much this guy, he can say that. He was so bred for the position that he is in that the AEW fans rejected him for it. Mr. Straightfire says, can't wait to hear what you loved about the Cena promo. Thought the emotion and delivery was great. Content was empty, pretty much face-turning heel generic gripes. Also know why joining The Rock. And KE775 says, were you surprised they didn't address his association with The Rock? I was surprised, but that gives you something else to build for a promo for in the future. So the why was okay with me. You're going to get John Cena for a handful of dates along the way. So maximize those, give something different each time. The why was important to me. What I loved was the emotion. I did love the delivery. And again, I am one of the biggest haters of you people promos in wrestling reviewer history. Go back and watch any of my promos or any of my promo reviews 2016, 2017, 2018 when Fightful was starting and how much Vince McMahon relied on this. When he tried to make Becky Lynch come out and do a You People promo and people were like, this sucks. All the Jinder Mahal You People promos. All You People. It sucks. John Cena was a good guy. And I don't mean a good character guy. I mean, he broke the record for Make-A-Wishes and people booed him until he went away. Then they started to cheer him when he was around less. And John Cena's thing is like, when I was out here working 300 and the schedule, the Cena schedule, people call it. You hated me. You made my life hell. You nosed into my relationships. Now you want to cheer me? You don't get to cheer me. I think he is the most appropriate You People promo that has ever existed. Ever. More than Hogan. We have a Humper chat says, glad they decided not to change Cena's visual presentation and music. Colored tees with platitudes on them have always been great heat getter. Yeah, I agree. I didn't at first. And then when he said that, I go, you know what? It works. It works really well. Tell you what else works. Leaving that thumbs up. One more thing works. Meet Normus says, Bengals better score 40 a game next year. Spent more on this chat than they have on defense. Watching Raw later, just saying hi. So I've got a podcast called Common Bengals W. It is like a little, just a fun side project I do. Please go subscribe to it if you're a Bengals fan. But I'll give you a little breakdown here. The Bengals set a record by paying Joe Burrow. Now there are 5 other QBs in the league that make that much. They set the record for a wide receiver 1 by paying Jamar Chase. Good. They should have saved some money there. They set a record paying a wide receiver 2 with T. Higgins. And I know a lot of people are like, well, the Bengals aren't going to make the playoffs next year if they don't address that defense. Let me just explain something to you all. Bengals were 1 Tanner Hudson fumble at the goal line in week 1 away from the playoffs. 1 call at the end of the Chiefs game away from the playoffs. 1 of those face masks being called for Joe Burrow in the Ravens games away from the playoffs. They were 1 play away from any number of those. And that was with Sam Hubbard barely being able to stand up, apparently. He's retired. They've saved $11 million on him. Their secondary cannot be worse than it was last year. They lost their best corner in the middle of the season. They have added a nose tackle that they desperately needed. Now, If they lose Trey Hendrickson, yes, that is trouble. As of now, their defense is bad, but improved based on what they had last year. Von Bell is gone. That man was slower than molasses. Somebody says your main pass rusher is gone. No, he's not. What are you talking about? Our main pass rusher's gone. Trey Hendrickson's on the team. He's under contract. They're negotiating a deal with him, my friends. He said he had the NFL leader in sacks. They re-signed Joseph Osai. He's going to get a lot of snaps. Somebody says, don't forget ESPN wanted SRS too. That was like, 7 years ago when somebody talked to me from ESPN. But yeah. I speak a lot about it on the Bengals show. Listen, the Bengals they got to sign a guard, badly need a guard. They probably need two, and I would like for them to get a veteran corner. I'll talk about it over at Common Bengals W. But guys, I hope you all watch a lot of the cool new videos we're doing. I hope you guys know, like, a lot of this stuff we do at a loss. Like when we travel to events, we do that at a loss. When I produce a lot of these videos, I do it at a loss, because I want to get more people here to watch these live streams and all that. But tomorrow, we're looking at rare, expensive prototypes with LJNs. Today, it's the most embarrassing event in wrestling history, Heroes of Wrestling. Yesterday, it was 2K25 player ratings. Salary cap hell coming from the Bengals. No, it's not salary cap hell, buddy. They're going to have 30 to 40 million in cap space this year. After this is going to lower the cap hit. The Bengals have finally entered a situation where the cap benefits them. They ain't got anybody else to pay. There is nobody else on this team worth paying. Hate to tell you guys that. And they still won 9 games last year. Ian Simmons says, you know who would have been a perfect person to ruin Cena's retirement? Jay White. He's in AEW, but would have been the perfect heel to do that spot. Under the WWE umbrella, yes. Yes, it would have been. But he's in AEW. The Powers of Pain versus the Good Brothers has been announced in a cage match on April 7th. What the hell? Good promo on Peacemaker. From Peacemaker, yeah, it was. Yeah, pressure on Zach Taylor for sure. If they start off 0-2 this year, he's getting fired by week 3 for sure. Guys, I want to thank you all so much. I know it looked like this show was going to be over in like 15 minutes, but wanted to talk a lot about John Cena. If I send you a golden pork chop, would you put it in your display? If it wasn't like a legit pork chop, yes, for sure. I got some gifts up there. Like Denise got me that photo. These figures were gifts. So I've got a few gifts, a couple letters from some people in the industry that thanked me for some things. Yeah, for sure I would. Guys, appreciate you guys. We're back here next Monday. Until next time, we're out.